Namaste. Welcome 7th class students. So today our part 3, 7th class part 3. So and our first lesson, reading of different kinds of maps. So this is our part 3. In the part 1 we have done the introduction of the map, uses of map, and how the maps are useful. Actually, how the maps are useful means we can write. We can use a map in different ways, like for knowing the directions, for knowing the particular theme of a place. For example, population, economic, agriculture, and highways, national highways, railways, airways, and according to the minerals, forest also, rainfall, weather. In this way, if we take a list means it will be a lot of big list that the maps can give. But one thing, one map can't give all this information at a time. These information given by the particular different maps for each topic. For example, population is explained in one map, agriculture is explained in another map, and physical part is explained in another map, political part is explained in political map, economic status can be explained in another part, roadways can be explained in another map, and in the same way, highways, airways also, flights also, transportation also, weather reporting also, everything can be explained according to the particular map. If we want to know about the population means we have to get the population map. But if we are getting a physical map and then I want to know about the population means we can't know. Physical map explains us about only physical structure of the map. But economic status, if we are getting economic and we want to know about the physical status means we can't. Every particular map explains us about only one thing completely about that particular place. And one more thing, one map can't explain about all the places at a time also. We have to study the map in different ways, different maps. India map, the physical map can be explained in physical map only in India, about India. AP map will explains about the Andhra Pradesh physical status in Andhra Pradesh physical map. In this way, physical map, political map, outline, and the same way on our state, our country, and our world. So in the 6th class, we have discussed about the map. What is a map, sketch map, rough map, and symbols, colors which are used. All these we discussed in the 6th class. So this 7th class, we are continuing the topic, that's all, that uses of map and also types of map. So in the types of map, we discussed about the physical, political, outline, and more than that, there are so many maps which explains about the different themes according to our emergency and need of the information. So the invention of the maps, who invented firstly the world map, who are the people, how the maps are developed, all these we will discuss in the next 8th class. So here we are discussing about the types and uses of the maps. So and also we discussed in this lesson that symbols, colors which are used on the map. The symbols and colors which are used on the map, and actually the inventors who are inventing the maps are using the symbols and colors according to their taste. But some symbols are there which symbols are used by the inventors. All the inventors same, they have to follow that symbols same. That type of symbols are called as conventional symbols. The symbols which are used by the inventors followed in the same way. These symbols are called as conventional symbols. These symbols help the people to identify and denote where the place is, and color also denote what is a particular place. Colors will tell us what is a particular place is showing us and what is a particular place is filled with. For example, forests are indicated in a green color, plains are also green color, dark, and there is a difference between dark and light. Blue color is for water. Plains are also green color. Why? Because forests are mostly located on the plains only, deltas, and plateaus yellow or orange, Himalayas in a different dark color. That means maroon or blue, dark blue. And also outline. Outline map gives us the shape of the earth, shape of that earth. Shape of the place, particular place. Political map gives us states, districts, and shape of the place. For example, AP and India. We can't explain complete world. We can't explain complete world in a political way, in a physical way also. In outline means we can explain. Only giving the complete continent outline only, not giving physical or any political. So in this way, now we discuss that political population, economic, agriculture, weather, roadways, airways, and weather, farming, minerals, forest. In this way, so there are so many maps giving us different informations. Okay. Next, going to the mean sea level. Mean sea level means the ground level is called as mean sea level. The ground level and the water level is equal. This is called as mean sea level. The hills or mountains are calculated from the 0 meters to the upwards of the hill. So these meters, this is calculated in the form of meters. This is mean sea level. So here there is a question: how a mean sea level is calculated? How a mean sea level is calculated? Mean sea level is calculated as, if we take a ocean, this is the land, this is the hill, this is the ocean. This ground level and this top of the ocean level is equal. This is 0 meters. How the height of a hill we discussed in the last class. Here, how the mean sea level is calculated, this is the mean sea level. So normally in the oceans there are different types of movements, tides, currents and waves. So they will go ups and downs also sometimes. Ups and downs. So sometimes in the ancient days, scientists, they don't know how to calculate the mean sea level. ఒకసారి చూడది touching. So the mean sea level is calculated according to the heights and according to the movements of the water in the oceans. So in the olden days, scientists used to be confused that the movements of the water is not constant. The movements are sometimes high and sometimes very high and somewhat low. Like this they are going. So how can we calculate the mean sea level? So that's why the scientists taken after some years, years going on, scientists calculate, they thoroughly observed the movements of the water high and low, and they thought that we can take the movements of the water in the average. That means in the mean, in the middle, average way. So this average level of the movement of the water is mean sea level. In this way, mean sea level is calculated. So here, mean sea level is calculated in this way. So these movements of the water is occurred by because of the winds which are blowing that side and this side. According to the directions winds are blowing, according to the winds, the water is giving its movements. So after that, counter lines. So what is the meaning of the counter lines? Counter line means the line which is joining counter line. A counter line means the surface on the hill or a mountain is not equal or flat. It will be some up downs. The surface of the hill is not in a proper way. So these the line which is joining in a surface, a line which is joining the abnormal surface is called as counter lines. These lines are not in a constant way, not in an equal way, and these are getting some ups and downs. So these, according to the surface, the counter lines are joining. These lines are called as counter lines. Okay, 7th class children, in this lesson the main topics are map. What is a map? Uses of map, types of map, and how many types of maps we have discussed. So, and how does a hill or a mountain is measured from the down level, from the ground level to the top of the mountain or a hill. So, and what is a mean sea level and how does a mean sea level is calculated? In the olden days, how the scientists were confused. Nowadays, after that, how does that confusion was cleared? And what is the mean sea level? What are the three types of movements of the water? So, what is the 0 meters on the ground level? So these all the movements of the water and the mean sea level. After that, counter lines, conventional symbols which are used on the maps, colors which are used on the map. All these things we discussed in this class in the part 3. So this is our part 3. 7th class students, by this topic up to here we have completed our first lesson successfully. So in this first lesson we have discussed all these things. Along with all these, children, you are also attempting the online exams for every part. For each part, you are getting the question paper has a choose the correct answers, and you are attempting it. So revise the videos again and again if you are having doubts. You have to listen the videos carefully, note the points in your classworks or running notes. If you are having textbook means keep the textbooks in front of you. Go through the textbooks. It is best. And after that, attempt the online classes very well. So up to here, we completed our lesson, 7th class. So in the next part, we will start our second lesson. So all the best. Thank you.